you have to rest your voice. I've noticed at the end of the day now, this has never happened before, but at the end of the day for the last 2 months, when I come home, I sound like a teenage boy because my voice is cracking. It's so tired. My throat hurts because I'm constantly trying to get these kids to stop talking long enough to hear me. And it's so loud all the time that I have to talk loudly.
Yeah, you have to talk over them, which I've been working with my students all year long so that I don't have to do that. Because I did essentially almost lose my voice because I don't have a high voice, so it doesn't pierce through.
Yeah.
Which is the women that work in my grade, they can do that. So
Yeah.
they don't have to talk as loud for them to be heard.
Right.
But me, my voice is deeper, so it like just blends into all of the ambient noise that they make throughout the class.
Yep.
So you have to get loud and louder, and then all of a sudden you're now way louder than you actually want to be, and then you have to stop and make them come down, and then you can talk like I'm talking now, like in a normal voice.
Right.
You have to do that, or else you're gonna be gone. Your voice is gonna be gone.
Well,
and it's so funny that they complain. Our students, they complain, and you saw them during the performance at Christmas.
God, they were horrible.
They complain to other people that we yell at them, but it's like we're just talking so that you hear us because you won't be quiet.
Yep.
And it's like they never put that together. They're like, "Oh, you yell at us." It's like, dude, if I started yelling, people would come running from quite a ways away because I don't yell. My speaking loudly is your yelling.
If you started yelling, I would probably leave my classroom.
Yeah, because you'd be like, what the hell is going on? Because I just don't do that.
Because in my classroom's on the second floor, but let me tell you, if my husband starts yelling, I'm going to leave the classroom to find out.
But I'm also in a separate building. You know that, right?
Yep, I know that.
Even though
they're connected.
They have a covering that connects, but we're literally in a separate building. But yeah, the students don't realize, and if you were on the outside, it would sound like, oh, this teacher is yelling. It's like, no, I'm just talking. Like, there's no anger here. I'm not upset. I'm not frustrated. None of those things are happening. Like, none of those feelings. This is literally just trying to get on top of their noise because they haven't been taught up to this point that they shouldn't do this and they do it to everybody. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yep.
They're not just doing it to the foreign teacher. They're doing it to the Spanish teachers, the French teacher. They're doing it to everybody. And then they're complaining that everybody's yelling at them.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you came in, like I say this all the time, when you come into class, you should come in, sit down, take out your materials, be ready for class. You should not be running around, jumping around,
climbing on the desk.
Right. You shouldn't be doing any of those things. You should be ready for class. And they have not been taught that lesson yet.
No, and my kids still do it. It's June.
Stop saying they still do it. They're in 2nd grade. My kids are in 6th grade.
I understand.
My kids are the ones that you say they're still doing it.
Yes, but if nobody had those expectations prior to you.
Yeah, they didn't have them in 2nd grade, or 3rd, or 4th, or 5th.
They came in this week one day, and there was homework written on the board. And they had been in there maybe 5-6 minutes. And I looked at them and I said, what are you supposed to be doing right now? What is your job at this moment? Mm-hmm. Write down the homework. So why are none of you doing it? There's one child who comes in my classroom every single day. The first thing she does, she puts her things down, she gets out her homework notebook, she writes the stuff, she brings it to me, I sign it, she puts it in her bag. She does that within the first 2 minutes of every single class while everybody else is still running around, climbing over things, jumping on their friends.
No. They need a shift.
Yeah.
In management, not management over teachers, but management of teachers over students.
Yes.
Their expectations. I had a student. Now, when we're in 6th grade and this happens, nobody really cares. But I have students that if you walk up and go, good morning, they'll go, and you look at them like, dude, really? Nobody did anything. oh, you broke my arm. It's like, really? And they do this, but for them, it's a joke. I've walked up to students before and like I didn't even touch them yet. Like, what's up? And they go, oh, and they fall down and they act all this stuff out. Now, they do that over there and everybody laughs and they fall and they think it's great. And I have one kid that I call Neymar because of the football player. Yeah, that they, you know.
Soccer, not football.
You know, football.
Soccer.
Football. Kind of more football than ours because they kick a ball.
Anyway, let's let that one go. We all know it's soccer, but that's not the point. The point is, you know, he will walk around and his friends will be like, and he'll fall down and be like, oh, and he'll like writhe around on the floor, and everybody thinks it's funny. It's not funny when there's a whole bunch of parents for a hat day and you touch the child and now he's laying down screaming like you just did something to him. Because now
the parents want to know what you just did.
You just hurt this child. It's like, no, this is a thing that this child does in the classroom, going from between classes. It's like it's not somebody doing something to him. But then somebody will go back to the management of this particular school, say that they saw a teacher hurting a child and that it disturbed them. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh God, now you're getting called in for some bullshit that never meant anything. It was never a thing. Even the child in the moment knew that they were laughing because it was like not a thing that was an issue. But it becomes an issue because of all of these people's feelings around it. And that, I think, is one of the most detrimental things at this particular, like where we are now. Because they've created an environment where, oh, we must worry about every single person's feelings at every single moment of the day, but we don't need to worry about education. And
we don't need to worry about the teacher's feelings, because the teachers don't matter.
Right.
I had a student this week who, he had one hell of a week. So on Monday I sent a note home. On Tuesday I read the note, the response from the mother, and every line I read, I was getting more and more aggravated and frustrated because they were lie after lie after lie after lie. So I called the child out into the hallway, and I'm speaking with him, and now I'm at his level. I'm speaking quietly but firmly, not yelling. I'm not animated. And the principal comes up and says, you need to control your anger. And I looked at her and I said, I'm not angry. But you're angry. I can see that you're angry. I said, no, I'm not angry. I'm frustrated and irritated, but I'm not angry. There's a difference. Well, what's the problem? And I just handed her the notebook, and she read it, and she was like, oh, well, you have to control your anger. And I said, I'm not angry. But it looks like you're angry. No, it doesn't. You haven't seen angry yet. So she takes the child away and keeps the child away for like an hour because what's in the notebook is disturbing. Kid was horrible all week long. But I'm the one that has to control my anger, and I wasn't angry. It's the appearance. I'm talking to a child quietly in the hallway, and now I'm the angry one. Because they had parents walking around the school, they thought, oh, this could be construed as something else.
Yeah, but see, there's the issue. One, nobody should have to take time away from teaching their classroom to remove a student and have a conversation with that student outside the classroom. That's something that should not happen, but this system does not have a way of dealing with that. They don't have a place for the student to go. Okay? In other schools that I've been in, there have been places where you say, okay, come get this student, they have an issue that needs to be talked about, and you remove the student from the classroom so there's not that influence, and the teacher needs to keep teaching. But once you walk out of the classroom, you're now not teaching anymore, and other students need your help for the work that you've assigned for them or the things that you have for them to do in class. That shouldn't happen. But that's that's a problem. That's a problem at this particular school that they don't have anywhere for that child to go.
No.
There's nowhere to go. Even if a child literally lost it and started doing something really bad and running around, they still have nowhere for them to go. They don't have
I still
any...
have to leave my classroom with the child, take them somewhere else.
Yeah, but see, that's just it. You shouldn't have to do any of that.
No.
But there is also no communication.
Right, there's
no way to call anybody and say, come.
Yep.
Excuse me, come. There, you have to, like every school I've always been in has had a hardwired phone.
Or even a walkie-talkie.
Well, maybe a walkie-talkie in schools, in old buildings that don't have phones in every room. But this, having a way of communication where you can pick it up and say, I need someone to come get so-and-so, their nose is bleeding, or they just fell down and they bumped their head, and anything. There's no way for us to contact anyone outside of WeChat. Or WhatsApp, and which becomes a whole nother problem because then you're told you're not allowed to use your phone.
You're not allowed to use your phone, but then even if they tell you to send the WhatsApp, then they don't respond for hours.
That's the other side of it. So there's no dedicated line of communication from the teacher, and if you want to find the Traveling Farrs on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify,
Google,
or the Google Play. You can find us at The Traveling Farrs. If you like the Twitter and the Instagram, send us messages at Traveling Farrs. If you like email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in Blueberry. Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
Peace! Came to. Oh, now you want to wave?